Sometimes truth doesn't come knocking. Sometimes it's already waiting in a folder you were never meant to open. My name is Simon, 43, an IT systems manager from Bristol. My wife, Claire, 39, worked as a senior project coordinator for a marketing firm. We'd been married 16 years with 2 children, Aiden, 14, and Maya, 11. We lived in a quiet cul-de-sac where everyone's hedges looked the same and people waved without remembering why. My parents, Gordon and Elaine, lived nearby, retired teachers who spent weekends volunteering at the library. My sister, Hannah, lived 3 hours north with her husband and their new baby. Our marriage wasn't passionate anymore, but it was peaceful. Steady dinners, weekend football games, and holidays that felt like clockwork. I'd have sworn on my career in data integrity that Claire was loyal. I was wrong. It began with something as mundane as tech support. One Friday evening, Claire came home frustrated. Her work laptop had started freezing during presentations, and her company's IT team was slow to respond. She asked if I could take a look. It should have been routine: scan for malware, clear cached files, restart. But when I opened her file directory, I noticed a personal folder buried 3 levels deep, titled Archive 22. Normally, I would have ignored it, but a small icon beside it caught my eye, a lock symbol indicating encryption. Curiosity in IT work is both a skill and a curse. I bypassed the encryption easily. It used her first pet's name as the password. The folder contained 27 video files. The first video was short, 30 seconds of Claire at an airport lounge smiling at the camera, then a man's voice behind it: "You always look better when you're nervous." I froze. The next file removed all doubt. A hotel room. Laughter, their reflections in a mirror. Her voice, soft, familiar, private. The timestamps spanned 6 months. The man appeared repeatedly, tall, dark-haired, with the confidence of someone who'd never been caught doing anything. In one clip, she whispered his name, Jamie. I felt my pulse slow to a crawl. Every muscle in my body numbed, but my mind stayed sharp, like watching your house burn while counting the windows still intact. I closed the folder, copied it to a secure drive, and shut the laptop as if nothing had happened. That night, Claire slept soundly beside me. I lay awake, counting ceiling shadows until dawn. I went to work as usual, sat through meetings, responded to emails. My hands typed sentences while my mind replayed each frame I'd seen. When I got home, dinner was waiting, the children were laughing, and Claire greeted me with her usual warmth. It was unbearable. I started noticing details I'd ignored before: her new phone passcode, the way she smiled while texting, the perfume she only wore on office off-site days. The affair wasn't ending. It was still happening. My parents came over that Sunday with homemade pie. They'd been married 42 years and still teased each other about crossword clues. My mother noticed my silence and asked if work was stressful. I nearly told her, but my father interrupted, joking that I'd finally learned to listen instead of talk. I smiled thinly, hiding the storm behind my teeth. They left after lunch. My mother hugged me a little longer than usual, as if she sensed the fracture I couldn't speak about. The next day, I called Hannah. She's always been my mirror, unflinchingly direct. I told her what I'd found. She paused for a long time before saying, "You can't unknow it, so now you decide if you want peace or justice." "Isn't justice peace?" "Not always," she said softly. Her words sat heavy for days. My professional instinct took over. I began cross-referencing her work calendar with file timestamps. They matched perfectly. Every conference, every team-building trip, every overnight stay aligned with those videos. I dug deeper into her phone backups and found deleted messages synced through her cloud account. "You make me feel like I never belonged anywhere else. Next month's trip can't come soon enough." The digital evidence was absolute. I didn't even feel angry anymore, just clinically aware that my marriage existed on borrowed time. I finally told my father. He listened quietly, hands folded on his lap. When I finished, he said, "Your mother and I once went through something smaller but similar. Trust isn't rebuilt by patching, it's rebuilt by replacing. Either you rebuild with someone new or you rebuild alone." He was right. I already knew which I'd choose. 3 weeks later, Claire announced another business trip, 2 nights in Leeds. I checked the calendar file she left open on her tablet. There was no meeting scheduled. I tracked the hotel booking through her email. Room reserved for Jay Weston, her lover's name, and a second guest marked companion. I took a half day off work and drove there. From across the street, I watched her walk into the hotel lobby at exactly 7:12 p.m. Jamie arrived moments later. They didn't bother pretending. He kissed her openly before they disappeared inside. That single moment was enough to silence hope forever. I went home that night, calm in a way I didn't understand. I didn't confront her. I simply gathered everything, videos, screenshots, receipts, and locked them in a folder I labeled closure. The next morning, I contacted a solicitor recommended by a colleague. He reviewed the material, and within a week, the application was filed, and 2 weeks later, Claire was served. On the kitchen table lay a single envelope, her copy of the filing papers. She saw it, went pale, and turned toward me. I didn't speak. I just met her eyes long enough for her to know exactly what I knew. Her lips parted like she might explain, but nothing came out. She took the envelope to the bedroom, packed a small suitcase, and left before midnight. Aiden asked where she'd gone. I said she needed time. Maya cried herself to sleep. Word spread quietly among friends. My parents were heartbroken but supportive. Hannah called daily, checking on the children. At school, Aiden grew withdrawn. Maya clung to me constantly. Evenings became rituals of endurance, homework, dinners, silence. I discovered how empty a house can sound when trust is the thing that used to echo. The divorce finalized within 6 months. Claire didn't contest. Her solicitor didn't even request mediation. She surrendered the house, citing guilt in her affidavit. She moved into a flat near the city center. We shared custody. I didn't attend the final hearing. My lawyer handled it alone. When the decree arrived in the mail, I felt neither relief nor sorrow, just completion, like closing a corrupted file. Weeks later, my mother came over with tea and the calm authority of someone who's seen love fail gracefully. She said, "You're not broken, Simon. You're cleared. There's a difference." She stayed that evening, helping Maya bake cookies, reading to Aiden. Watching her reminded me that love isn't just romantic. It's anything that stays when everything else leaves. Some months later, an unexpected email appeared in my inbox from Jamie himself, the man my wife threw everything away for. He said their affair had ended months before I filed, that she had walked away, that I'd misunderstood the timeline. He even attached a photo of them together at a train station, as if that proved anything. I deleted it without replying. Let me make this clear. For anyone who ever doubts what betrayal looks like up close, you don't kiss someone goodbye like that unless something's still alive. You don't check into a hotel under fake names weeks before you're caught if you're already done. The timestamps don't lie. The receipts don't lie. The only thing that ever lied in my marriage was her silence, and his cowardice dressed as confession. He said she'd ended it months before, but I was there. I saw them. That wasn't a farewell. That was routine, familiar, practiced. He didn't send that email to tell the truth. He sent it to rewrite it, to make himself sound like a victim instead of the man who helped dismantle a home. So, for the record, here's the truth. I didn't divorce her because I misunderstood. I divorced her because she crossed a line and never looked back. If she'd really ended it out of guilt, she would have fought for us. She would have cried, confessed, begged, or at least spoken. But she didn't. She packed her bag and left. That's not what guilt looks like. That's what exposure looks like. And when he sent me that picture, I finally understood what people mean when they say evil doesn't come with horns. It smiles for the camera. It's been 2 years now. My life is quieter. I still work in IT, still walk the same route to the office. The children have adjusted. Aiden joined a football club. Maya paints constantly. Claire sends polite updates about their school projects. We communicate only through necessity. Sometimes late at night, I still see the flicker of that locked folder in my mind, the moment curiosity became revelation. I've kept a backup of it, though I never open it. Not as punishment, but as proof that truth once known doesn't need repeating. My father says healing looks boring from the outside. He's right. It's just routine rebuilt without fear. And sometimes when I sit at my desk fixing another client's corrupted system, I catch myself smiling at the irony, how I once repaired machines for a living, yet couldn't repair a marriage made of human code. The house feels warmer in its simplicity. The children fill it with new sound. I've stopped replaying the videos in my mind. I still believe in trust, but now I know it isn't a default setting. It's something you maintain like software, checking regularly for faults before they crash everything. The flash drive remains sealed in my drawer. I'll keep it not out of bitterness, but as a firewall against forgetfulness, because forgetting what broke you only invites the next failure to look exactly the same. Thank you for listening. If you found this story worth hearing, please like, share, and subscribe. And before you go, drop a comment below and tell me what you would have done in this situation. I read every one. And until next time, take care.